Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Hello, welcome to my cake kitchen. I am Gladys, and over here I make simple, informative tutorials to help you navigate baking and decorating easily. We're back with another live, and we're continuing the series where we make this handbag cake. If this is your first time you're seeing me, I am Gladys. I undertake these tutorials to give you a raw and edited process of the decorating of cake items, and this is a continuation of this purse series where I made the purse from scrap cake. We carved it. So if you go back in the previous videos, you will see the entire videos in succession, and this is where we are at. Of course, I should make a correction to say last time we were here, we finished the bag off without this right here. Some of the details has to be repetitive, so I just get a leg in by just doing this, but we're going to be doing the chains anyway, so you will get to see how we made this. But if you go back, our last video covered everything else, including how we created the pattern and everything you're seeing over here. Now I'm going to move the cake onto a cake turntable, and this is where I would say today I don't feel well. Most of the time our lives are very exciting and fun filled. I'm going to try and stick with that and give you a show, but I have a cough and a cold and my head hurts a little bit, so if I seem a little bit dull, just forgive me for that. But I'm going to try my best to make sure that your value is not short and you're going to get the best out of this tutorial. That aside, this is scrap cake. It's not going to be eaten, so I can make allowances for my cough and cold as well. My my head hurts. My dutiful helpers are in the chat, Lollipop and Tapita. How are you people? It's great to be back. I don't feel well, and I think a little part of me has been slightly terrified because last time I felt like I wasn't feeling great. I ended up being off for weeks and weeks, you know, and I don't really want to do that. So hopefully this will clear, but I have myself a cup of lemsip to kind of keep me going through the session. So let's just jump to it. How are you all though, and how was your weekend? I know I've hardly missed anything. And Tabitha, I hope you had a great Mother's Day weekend. I don't know how the Mother's Day thing kind of missed me completely, but I did email you back finally. I hope you caught up with it, and if you haven't, maybe you can catch up on that a little bit later, Tabitha. Great to have you. And Lollipop is doing well. Thank you. I hope I will too, because I haven't got time in my life to feel poorly at all, okay? And I should also add, if you're catching this on replay, that last time we were here, not only did we finish the bag, but we also made a handle and we let it dry. So much of the parts of the cake was done. I did go and order this chain detail here. If you want to know how this chain was made, it's made from a mold. I picked this from Amazon for $6.99. It comes with a smaller chain detail over here. Okay, so you have the big chain, which is what you see here. And then there's a smaller chain if you want to add more details. And then there's the zipper with zip handle molds here. These are very helpful for when you want to get specific details on the cake. Now, because the cake is a little bit dry, you can't see the you can see the sheen a little bit, but if you want to get the sheen on a cake, you can go ahead and paint it, or you can airbrush it. I'm trying to make this super beginner friendly for all of you, so I decided to brush it, and the brushing here is done with a little bit of corn syrup mixed with vodka, right? But if that is not your thing, you can add corn syrup to glycerin and then paint it. Of course, depending on what you use in the painting, when it's set, it might air out. But the intention is always, when you make these cakes, they eventually get eaten anyway. So whatever you use in the painting, you paint it just in time before the cake gets cut, and then that will bring the sheen and stuff to it. So this is what we've got, and then we've got the handle. Now I'm stuck between whether it will make sense to kind of paint the chain into gold, because the intention initially was to kind of get the chain as part of the handle of the cake, and now I've just used it as detail to enhance the cake, and I don't feel like I want to add anymore. So I'm going to try and see if we can paint the chain gold. I have very shaky hands, so painting is not my strongest point, but I've always tried to bring you the exact process of the cake decorating tasks. So over here I have I've just put rejuvenated fluids, and there is decorative non-edible gold paint. That's what I've got. Of course, if you are using this for a customer, you want to make sure this is non-edible. This is edible. This is non-edible because the cake here is not to be eaten, of course. That's why I'm using a non-edible gold paint. There are options of edible gold paint on the market that you can choose from. So I'm going to try and see how best I can get away with painting this. But one has to be super meticulous when you do this, because a little error and you end up getting smudges all over the black. That's the downside. And I've got shaky hands, so you want to make sure you take all the time you need to do this. And I'm not sure I'll be able to get into the crevices without messing this up. So I don't know how people end up painting so perfectly on items, because, okay, let's see. And whilst we're at it, a little thought crossed my mind today. I thought I'll come and talk to you about it. I've ended up getting myself stuck in a very busy schedule. I have some brownies to make, I have cakes to bake, and I am continuing my series on sugar. For those of you who haven't seen my last video, there's a subject on sugar. It's part of baking basics, just so that we can, it's more like baking class. I remember we started baking class on here, and the intention is just to help inform you about baking and the ingredients that go into baking, just so that you are empowered. Because if you know nothing about if you know nothing about baking and you start, at some point things are going to go wrong in the kitchen, and you want to be in a position where you can fix some errors with your bakes when they develop, especially if you don't develop your own recipes, because baking is a science and things are going to happen to you. So I started a series on sugar and its role in baking, and I think my curious mind took me on a journey. If you look behind me, I have tins here. I spent the day yesterday baking 3 batches of cakes, and that's going to be the base for the same set of cakes. So essentially, I'm undertaking a sort of task to see what effects changes in sugar can have on a cake. It's been done before, I'm sure, but I just wanted to put my own spin on it so that we can work out, if you picked a recipe and you decided that you wanted to increase the sugar, what will be the outcome? And if you chose to decrease the sugar, what will be the outcome as it relates to the functions of sugar? And I think the idea was exciting until I realized that, gosh, it's going to take me a lot of time to kind of do it. And now I'm thinking, today I've been up since 7 o'clock this morning, been shopping, doing stuff, trying to get to making the brownies. It's for a family friend's daughter. We're celebrating a milestone birthday, so we're just making small brownie. And then I have cakes to go, and then I'm running this research project, which is a lot of work, and yet I have to stop and do this. My life has cake in it. And so I'm just wondering how I can bring you along the entire journey, because it's just me and I can't seem to do it all, you know. So I'm just wondering, is this the time where we get to create a sort of membership where I can create that sort of videos exclusively as extra? You're not going to lose what you have now. We're still going to continue the live series, but it's also sort of giving me an opportunity to be able to get some change that will go into the extra expense so that it is also valuable. Because I realize that undertaking this task is different from the scrap cake that I come here and talk to you all about. Do you see what I'm saying? Because anything else that will cost me in terms of time, ingredients, and everything else is a decision I have to make. And I still don't want you to lose. So that's where mentally I was this morning. We'll see. How is the painting going? Oh, for somebody with shaky hands, this doesn't look bad, does it? Our D is back. Look, for those of you in the chat, if I seem a little bit MIA, forgive me. It's because I'm trying to get this thing done properly. If it's your first time here, thank you for stopping by. And I hope you find some value in today's tutorial. We are making this handbag cake, and at this moment in time, I am just trying to paint some details here. Worth noting, you need a firm brush, a brush that can paint the detail without going everywhere. By the way, I picked this brush. It's a set that I picked from Hobbycraft, so you don't need expensive brushes or anything to do this at all. Yeah. There you go. Whilst we're at it, Tapita, what did you do for Mother's Day? Come on, bring us all the tea. And for your I know your mom picked you some stuff for your birthday. Maybe we should bake you a cake. How does that sound? Should we? Right. Okay. So painting or no painting, does the painting make a difference? I think it does. The gold detail makes a difference. But we want to make sure just to reiterate that if you want to do this, you have to be meticulous. I think for my shaky hands, the helpful thing is that I have a firm brush that is helping me here. Oh, RD's got allergies. So sorry, lovely. I hope you feel better. Apparently, if you live in a town and you've got allergies, it's not going to be better. And that has something to do with the way towns are planned. Okay, and whilst you're at it, just a polite request that you can like the video and subscribe if you are new here. It would be great to have you. When I get into these tutorials, right, I am super excited to come and catch up, except today I'm not feeling well. And secondly, this task is very tedious and requires all my attention. So if you're just in the chat and you're like, why does she look nonchalant? I'm just trying to get the details right so that we don't mess this up, okay? And if you're a beginner, I hope you can achieve good results too. I have never wanted to paint like this on a cake because I'm always worried about my shaky hands and making a mess of it. But there we go. Okay. So you see why custom cakes are expensive, because look at the time and the effort. Like, you have to think. Okay. Where is my lemsip? For those of you who are not feeling great, you are in company. Efia, hi there. You haven't missed anything. We have the live of how I made it. So when you finish watching this, you can go back. You will see part 1, part 2. I think this is part 3, I think. The part 1, we carved it. And then part 2, we recarved it. Oh, this is part 4. So if you go back in time, just in the previous lives, I think if you count it, it's about the 5th to 6th live from this one, you will see. So you haven't missed anything at all because it's all here for you to see. So when you finish watching this, Efia, you can go back and check, okay? You will find that the structure of the bag was nothing like this at all. It just took some work and imagination, really. But great to have you. How are you? Right. Right. I'm just trying to finish. I did say you can use the same techniques that was used for this bag to complete your insert any custom branded luxury bag, and yeah, you can do that, right? Oh, I think I like it. How is the painting? Judge my painting, even though I went into it with shaky hands. What do you think? Do you think we did right? Bear with me. Need to. The gold paint does tend to go everywhere, so okay. So okay, Efia, it's great to know you're well. Thank you for stopping by. Right. Part of a good tip for cake decorating is know when to stop, okay? Know when to stop. And at this point, I want to stop, okay? Now we have the handle here. The handle we made, right? And to insert the handle, the reason why I am going in to make a hole first is that if I don't do that and I push this handle in the wrong place, the pressure might break it. And also know that when we made this handle, we made it without wires in it. So we measured it against the cake, and there you have it, right? So we have to push this through, right? And I could go on to create hardware details, but like I said, the cake is supposed to be super beginner friendly. So I'm gonna just add the paint so that we can get the gloss on the entire cake, and then we will focus on the the chain handle, if you like. I think with the chain detail, I don't want to overdo the chain detail. So if you're wondering what I'm using in painting, I'm just using vodka that is mixed with corn syrup. Just using it to paint it so that I can get some sheen. And painting the front of the bag was intentional to start with, so that I don't go back and touch the gold bits on there, because otherwise it will go everywhere and I don't want that. So all I'm doing is I'm just using that to paint, just to bring some sheen. And just a bit of tip here: if you choose to do this, make sure you use a brush that doesn't dent or leave details behind. This is a soft flat edge brush that I'm using here, as you can see. There you go. Let me bring it in view a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Now, the board, normally I work on a work surface and then I transfer it, but we're not transferring this at all. So I will show you how you can cover the board even when you do not wish to transfer it. And any imperfections on the bag may add to character for you as well, you know, because it's supposed to be a leather bag. You have something that looks a little bit weathered and not too perfect, because when you have your bag, sometimes, you know, if you've overused the bag or you use it frequently, it's not perfect looking, but it's not like a tattered broken bag either. So I always say, when you make representative items in cake form, you want to leave room for interpretation, and sometimes this is where imperfection. I could have gone for a Gucci bag, but I'll be setting myself up for a higher standard, and I wonder how achievable that would be for a beginner, because trying to even get the Gucci lines on a cake design will be extraordinarily difficult. But if you can get the basics of the handbag with the hardware and everything else, then of course you can set yourself up for future projects that may be successful as well. So that's something to think about. Okay, now this is the part where you get to define the details of the bag. Of course, I've kept it simplistic, but if you wanted to add more hardware to it, you wanted to add a tag detail and all of that to it, that is fine. So essentially, I could just leave it here. Trying to see. I'm seeing a reflection here. Essentially, handbag cake. Any qualms? No. I'm okay with that, actually. Okay, let's see. Just trying to. You want to be careful, because what I'm doing here is, once the brush touches the gold part, it's going to be a problem. Right, so I'll leave it as is, okay? Now, I'm going to try and see if I can get the... I mean, for a cake like this, at this point, you could be done, okay? If you were making this for a loved one, a customer, you want to just leave a tag detail there if you wanted to, and it's happy birthday. I'll see if I want to do that. So this is the part where you can personalize the cake to your exact preferences. I don't want to overdo it because I want it to still be achievable for you, especially if you're a beginner doing this. Okay, but I'm going to move it out of the way. And here's the part where I will politely ask, if you're already finding value here, do like the video. Yeah, join us here too. Your support is incredibly important to us, okay? Because that's the only way we grow at this moment in time. So yeah, if you're here and you are enjoying the tutorials, do join the community, but don't be a passive subscriber. Don't just hit the subscribe because I asked you to, because that doesn't help anything, because YouTube judges your interactions of the videos to kind of weight me forward. So if you interact with the video, leave a like, let me know you like it, or leave even a comment. YouTube knows you had a great experience, because YouTube is committed to your experience, you see. I just come and try my best to give you a show. I know today is missing a bit of sprinkle because I don't feel well, but I've got to go to a job, okay? And I love my job because I love you guys. So thank you for being here with me today. I'm going to move this away to the side, and then we're going to get to the handle, the small details to kind of finish this cake off, essentially. Right, I have a very small workspace. Hopefully I don't end up tumbling this cake over. It has happened before, people. It has. So don't be so sure. But yeah, I brought my medicine to work with me. Okay, that's just a cup of lemsip to kind of keep me going. Oh Lord, lollipop. Oh people, let me just tell you something, that last night I was sat here feeling sorry for myself, not feeling great, and Lollipop left me a lovely comment below one of the videos. So we were chatting, and she's like, Lollipop says, oh, she hopes something in the lines of, she hopes I grow, the channel grows, and we have millions of you guys. And I'm like, Lollipop, I'm waiting to come back and respond to you today. I'm like, Lollipop, I like that too, but you know what I'm scared of? I will lose having to wake up and walk out like nobody cares. Okay, there is some peace in that, Lollipop. There is some peace in waking up, because I don't look like this, you know. Have I told you that before? I don't look like this. This is my work face, okay? Oh, people, this is my work face. If I came here every day looking like my sleep face or my school drop-off face, you all will probably be like, girl, what's wrong with you today? She ain't with it, right? This is my work face. The live starts at 1 o'clock. Let's have a laugh, okay? The live starts at 1 o'clock when I am on it. But this right here starts at 11. It doesn't take 2 hours to do this though, but the prep, I mean, takes a bit of time, okay? So my day starts at 7. Drop off and all the stuff gets done for 9, 9:15. And I'm settled like 10:30, 10:15. So that hour, normally it's either I'm doing something admin related, or I'm editing or catching up with. That hour is just dedicated to sort of me doing something for me, like the sort of thing where I crave that 1 hour to do something important, something boring, but the mornings are my best times to focus, so that is the time I do that. So if I have a short that is partly edited and I need to go back and add the details in the description and all of that, I'll do that, and then I'll set up the next short, because I do everything by myself over here. I have a graphic designer and a VA for small bits, but the entire thing is just me, right? So I do that, and I aim to get off my desk for say 11:15. Now 11:15, I go, depending on what the day is, I have a shower in the morning. So at 11:15, I go and pick up from where I left my shower off. So that is when I either have to come back here, organize for the tutorials, and then go and do this. So My day, almost every hour of my day till let's say 8 p.m. is completely like max. I mindlessly sometimes just sit there doing that all the time when I'm trying to distract myself or something. But I have fulfillment in my life in the form of what I do that I really enjoy. But truth be told, I don't look like this all the time. And there's some joy in not caring about what I look like when I wake up. There's just some joy and peace in that. I have a scarf, but it's not this one anyway. There's some joy in just like going out and not having to worry about what you look like. And I feel like when you get to that level of success, which is exciting, and yeah, it comes with all the great things. At the core, you also lose some things that are really important. I don't want to have to wake up and worry about what it feels like to step out of my house and not feel dressed, because that has never been me. If I want to get dressed and look good, you people know, you've seen me dress up. I know how to pull myself together and look like $1,000,000. But it's not my default setting. My default setting is I want to just wake up and drag myself around. And yeah, if I can get to my nearest shop in my gym jams, that's okay. I could do that. But when you get to 1,000,000 subscribers, you can't do that anymore, because if you have like a fan supporters who genuinely feel connected to you, it takes away a little bit of that. And I'm not complaining, I'm just having a conversation about the things you lose for the things you gain. And some days I'm not sure how I feel about that, because the sense of normalcy gets taken away from you a little bit, and there goes a little bit of your peace too. So I don't know, I'm not complaining. It will be exciting to get there on top of the mountain, and we're on our way little by little, one video at a time, one step at a time. But yeah, I am just a normal regular girl who's just been gifted with something that I like to share with the world. And the whole idea of that becoming a thing, I can't wrap my head around it. I just can't. But thank you for the thought though, Lollipop. Thank you. Tabitha says, I don't care what I look like, but I'm not out to impress the world. I'm out to handle my business. I'm out to how, who cares? Who cares about others' opinions of how I look? I don't go out in Tabitha, you don't go out in pajamas, okay? I think I can't say that for myself. I don't do that a lot, but it depends on what pajamas. You know, some pajamas don't look like pajamas, they look like tracksuit bottoms, you know. So yeah, it's okay though. You know the kind of people I've always admired the women, some women, right? And I don't have friends like that. Okay. But I have always admired women who just look like they never miss a beat. I used to know somebody, an acquaintance, right? I have never seen her hair out of place. And I'm talking somebody I knew on a regular. In the morning, she was already done up. And I'm like, where are you going? Where? It's 9 a.m. I need me a cup of tea to feel alive. Why are you polished? Why? God. But you know what? I have always had an admiration for such people, such women, because I kind of think, I know it takes a lot of effort to look a certain way. And if that was my default, I think for me, I am constantly like worried about my skin. I'm like, if I always had something plastered on from morning to night, because first of all, I love my naps. I'm old, okay? If I'm not doing this, I've either sat on a sofa napping, okay? Who wants to have this like rubbing on a sofa? You have brown patches everywhere. Effia, do you know somebody like that? What are you like, Effia? Do you roll out of bed and be like, here you go, goodbye? Or you're like, let me just try and nip and tuck a bit? What are you like? Be honest. Like today, I am feeling so rough. I could do without all of this, but you know what? This is a job for me, as in I have to come to work and there's an expectation of how you present at work, or at least make an effort. So this is like a treat time. Oh Lord, yeah. So if you see those friends of yours that look amazing, just compliment them, okay? Compliment them, and yeah, because it takes a lot of effort to look. So yeah, the point is, I don't mind, but success comes with responsibility, and sometimes the responsibility is that your sense of normalcy goes away. Right. Now, did I say we were going to make the bag handle? Before we do that though, let's try and cover the board. Afia says, I don't even know what I look like, sis. Waking up at 4:30 a.m. to fix food for the kids to take to school and drop them off. Ooh, Afia, 4:30. God be with you, honey. That's commitment. But I guess, yeah, if work comes calling, what can you do? Right, so let's talk about covering the board for a minute. Normally, I would work on a cake and then transfer it to a fondant covered board. So if that was the case, I would cover the board however it complements the theme. So, for instance, for a bag cake, you want to probably create a wood top, a wood effect, just so that it looks like your bag is sitting on, let's say, a wood surface, whether it's a table or something that complements it. Or you can just leave it bare, right? Except on this occasion, I haven't covered the board already because I don't want to move the cake. So we are going to have to work around covering this. So the theme I'm going to go for is like how do I even explain it? The bag is sitting on, say, a cloth or something ruched, okay? And the idea is, imagine if you went and you put your bag on a bedside, you have the cloth. So that's the theme in my mind. So instead of just going for a flat covering over here, which I'll cut and patch, I'm going to roll fondant and then fix it. And then you will see what I mean. So I'm going to move that across. No, before I do that, oh, hi Frank from Cuba. Hi. How are you? So I have fondant here. And as always, I'm just going to roll it. This is leftover fondant anyway. And you don't really need this to be perfect or fine. So I'm just dusting my work surface with cornstarch. And I'm going to roll this out. If you have texture in it, it's fine. Grace, it's a handbag cake we're making, but this handbag cake, Grace, this is the cake we made, and then we're trying to cover the board on which the cake is displayed. That's all. And the intention for covering a cake board, is it necessary? I wouldn't say it is exactly necessary, depending on how you display it, but it does add a touch of elegance to your finished look, essentially. So it is something I encourage. But if you were using a board that was white already, then of course you wouldn't need to cover it with fondant. I'm just rolling it out thinly. I don't need a lot of that. Okay, I'm not going to texture it. So there you have it. I've just rolled the fondant. And so what I am going to do, there's really no rhyme or reason to this. You just gauge, but you will see what I'm doing in a moment. Right, I'm just moving the cake in shot for you to see. Did I tell you that I have to be careful not to? Yeah, there you have it. The cake is here. And what I need now is a brush. Okay, I'm just going to get I'm using the same glaze that I used for the painting here, just so that it can stick for me, right? It's alcohol and corn syrup, right? And now that I've done that part, I'm bringing the cake back. And I'm just moving, right? Essentially, what I am doing is folding this around. Can you see what I mean by when I was explaining the theme of the board? It's going to take me a bit of time to kind of get it all perfect and fine without the lines. So I might as well just let the lines be part of the detail here. So that's what you have. Okay. And I'm just covering this. And yeah, right. So what I'm doing is I am just cutting around the board, and there you have it. It's really not rhyme or reason to this. And yeah, just cutting the edge out because the edge is going to need a ribbon detail, isn't it? So there you have it. And then we'll roll it again, and then we'll cover the rest of the back. And that's what we are doing. And then after that, we can get the rest of the handle on the cake sorted. Rebecca, thank you. I am so sorry to you new guys in the chat that I can't talk to a lot, but I can see your comments. So thank you all for... Okay, we are doing that again. So I'm rolling this over, and then There you go. And then another thing, see why I said this part of the decorating process is very repetitive. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you. There you go. Okay, a bit more. Yep. And there you have it. So I've rolled this out. What I'm going to actually do is cut this into two so that I can use that. And again, this is my lemsip. Moving the cake back here, and then we're gonna get the glaze back on it again. You can do this with edible paint too. I will advise against using water, and that is because water just smudges and goes everywhere, right? Okay, there you go. Now remember, the cake itself is sticky, so you want to be very careful. But I think I've got that sorted. Okay. 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 And a minute. There you go. Right. If I want it to. Let's see. What I'm doing here is purely preference. You don't have to. As you can see, it's leaving white tacky bits on the cake. But this is the back of the cake, so I don't mind it at all. There you go. Okay. And then we have the final bit. Just stick in a little portion here. Okay, so essentially that's the board covered with the bag, and we can add a ribbon detail. We'll do that when we're all done. So here's where we are so far with our cake and the board detail. Okay, there you go. Now we'll leave that to the side. And yeah, so now we're going to go and try and finish the small details on the cake. Let's see, just want to cover this off. There you go. Now, I just wanted to add a few more details. Now, these are just optional because if you were making a handbag cake and you got to this point, that is all you need. This is a cake you can gift, you can make for a customer. I wouldn't worry too much, but sometimes you just want to add a bit of tag details here. So I'll leave that over here, and maybe next time I will show you how to make a fabric scarf to go on the side of the cake. Not today. I think what I wanted to add though, I don't know if it's even necessary, because I kind of feel like for a beginner, because this is completely targeted at beginners, because this is completely a beginner friendly cake, I don't want to overdo it by adding too much details, because that takes away the point. Because whilst I wanted to make a handbag cake and I can expand on the details and make it more customized, the intention is to make it rather achievable for you, especially if you're a beginner who is starting on your cake making journey. So what's the vote? Do you want any extra detail, or we should leave it as that? And don't just say get on the extra detail for the sake of it. If you wanted to make a handbag cake to this point, will you be okay with your bag? Okay, because I kind of feel like if you're a beginner and you've made a handbag cake and you've got to this point, that is fair enough, and there isn't more to add to it. So whilst you're deliberating, let me just go grab the ribbon, and then we can add the ribbon to the trim so that our cake is kind of polished off, really. Okay, so I can hear, right, if here says I'll add a bold detail to the side of the handle. One second. I actually, come to think about it, I brought a bowl mold, right? So where are we? If you explain where the bold detail will go. Is it the side of the handle? For me, I'm just thinking, okay, right, there is something I can represent. You know, sometimes when you get a bag, you get something like this that is hanging off this part. So that is something I wanted to do. That's something I just, I wanted to, I have a bag, sometimes it's either a bold detail or a love sign, and you have this hanging off to the side like this. Is that what we're talking about? Because I can add that, but I'm interested in knowing the bold detail though. If yeah, where will the bold detail go? Could it also be here? I don't know. I want to see what your idea is first. My hair is itching. I want to see what your idea is first, and then we can try that. Okay. Okay, so the bow detail here at the front, is that correct? Okay, yeah, let's do that and then add the tag then. So for the ribbon, I'm just adding it's just normal sticky glue round. You can use a double-sided tape. Okay, where is it? Yeah. Okay, so okay, for the ribbon, you want to make sure that the ribbon is sitting flush, and of course we know the back of the cake, so there you have it. Oh, I think I've got a problem here. Okay, so we're doing this all over again. I think our glue is dry, so it's hard to kind of get the best out of it. Right, so we're doing this again. All right, there you go, got it. Okay, so we've got okay, and then I'm gonna add an office pin to clip it. And that's it. Right, there you go. So we have it all done, right? See how the ribbon makes a huge difference? Because without the ribbon, there is an element of unfinished business with what we've done, okay? And yeah. Just moving this onto the edge. We don't want the unfinished businessness of it. We want our business to look polished, finished, and done, okay? That's the aim. I think for things like this, you might expect grand skills, and yes, it takes a high level of skill, but it's just attention to detail and finding the small things important. Nothing hurts my eye worse than a cake that is completely sitting on a bare foil, uncovered foil board. Nothing hurts my eye more than that. Like, it's like, how are you displaying a cake without any element of finesse? But I guess that's just me. Right. So now that's our bag all done. We are now going to add the tag on it, and we are adding the bow detail. Now, since you nominated the bow, what color should it be? A gold bow? Because I kind of feel like gold will be lost, especially with the amount of gold we have there. What do you think? Let's go for black with a hint. Okay, let's try. You know what? This is where collaboration helps. What am I looking for? People, with my small workspace, some days my head is like, okay, yeah, this is what I'm looking for, right? So, That's black fondant. And Abena suggested that we have, I said Abena, Efia suggested we have a bow detail. So I am just going for a small lady bow here. I'm going for a black one because I kind of feel like a gold bow is going to get lost. So I'm going to go for a very small bow, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do. And if it doesn't work, we'll change it. Right, I am molding the bow from that here, right? So that's the bow we've got, and I think the suggestion was to kind of leave it at the front there somewhere. So I'm going to try it, because the thing with, yeah, right here, she said right in the middle, right? Okay, right, and then that's the detail there. And then what I'm going to do is put a gold ball in it, like a gold ball. Okay, a white with a hint. I kind of feel like a white will be lost in the detail too, Efia. So a white will be lost over there, because with the bag is not white, is it? Right, I'm just going to put a little, oh, the gold ball is gone. Okay, let's try this again. Let's try this again. We could go for a ball or a star. Okay, let's see. This is where having nails is not your friend. Okay, there you go. Right, so Efia, what do you think? It's a small detail there. Let's see. Right, so I'm going to just paint there. Yep. Oh, okay. I think that's fine. Don't you think? Right. Now, let's go and do the tag. The tag is nothing special. Tap it up. Tap it up. I can't see the charts in the way. What are we missing, Taps? Are you missing anything? Right, there you go. Right? So, the thing with the tag is you could use extruder to do this part. I am just too lazy to use the extruder, so I'm going to use, I am literally making fondant into a snake. Oh, okay, you can't see. I will show you, darling. When I lift it, you will see. I will lift it. Don't worry, Tapita. Okay. 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 And okay. Okay. And then we get the Right, so there we have it, and I'm going to move this out of the way a little bit so we can roll the little fondant. Okay, now what I'm going to do is get my stitching tool. Now we're going to stitch side A and side B, and there you have it. Right. And so what I am going to do is cut this bit, that bit, that bit, that bit, and then we'll stitch this too. Okay, now when you've stitched that, you want to leave this to set a little bit. Okay, yeah. Okay, there you go. So that's a little, the tag, you can add a stamp detail to it. I'm not going to be able to make a stamp detail, but what I'm going to do is paint that into so if you don't have a scarf, you could have the tag. So if this was a customer cake, this is the part where I would use an edible image to write the happy birthday or whatever message they want on there. And yeah, that is it. And essentially, our handbag cake is done. Those of you who haven't seen the details that we need to add, I will be adding that for you. So bear with me. I'll be showing you that, I mean. Okay. So yeah, we wanted a handbag cake and we made it. So, okay, let me just clear my work table whilst you look at the bag. Vicky, hi there, darling. Thank you. Right. Okay, there you go. Right, so let's tidy up. Let's tidy all of this up. And yeah, we can come back and have a look. It's a small workspace. Tabitha, you are very good at making me look so good. Okay? Thank you, my darlings. Where am I? Let's see. I just want this to be in your pair view so you can see. Let's see. The flower vase, the banana. You guys keep me going. I like these cakes when I make them. I think the next one I'm trying to make what you guys call, we call them trainers here. What do you guys call, your Jordans. What do you call them over there? Sneakers. Yeah, I would love to make one. Maybe if I have some scrap cake. We needed scrap cake for the job. Scrap cake, scrap cake, scrap cake. People, if you're just joining us, thank you for being here. I hope you found value in this video. And if you have, you know what? Be kind. Join the family here. We are a very positive bunch. I keep saying that, but I wonder how long I will say that for. Because when I say we are a positive bunch, I mean it. We are. Tabitha, Lollipop, and the rest of you. You kind of keep it going. Okay? And yeah, it's always a pleasure to be here doing this thing that I enjoy doing. But some days I wonder how long I'll keep saying we're a positive bunch. Oh, Tabitha, did I say I left you? I responded to your email. Did you not? I make a point of saying it because I know you say you don't do emails a lot like I don't, okay? So when you finish, go check your email. You will see, Tabitha, okay? Yeah, we made the soccer, isn't it? The soccer ball. And then, right, let's wipe the worktop. There you go. Okay, good people. If you signed in to check a handbag cake, I think we made it. Our handbag cake. Our handbag cake got there to the end. What do you think? Did we? Now I kind of feel like if I had known I would order the mold, the zip mold will have a zipper. But this won't be our last handbag cake. We'll come back and we'll make variations of a handbag cake. But if you go back and you watch the video and you see how this cake started, you'd be surprised how we got here. Because initially we had almost half the size of this. And then at some point I changed my mind. I'm like, no, I don't want, yeah. I don't want it to be half. I want it to be extended. And I came back and I reshaped it and we made it. And here we are. So yeah, I am so proud we made it. Some days when I pick on these projects, okay, full transparency, I know I have a certain level of skill, but I have the same fears as anyone who is doing something for the very first time. Of course, this isn't my first handbag cake, but this is the closest to a realistic handbag cake I have made. In the past, I have made errors with my handbag cakes and the cake has either collapsed or the edible image I was using for the cake hasn't showed up right. And I've had to work with what I have. And this is about the closest I have to a handbag cake. And I'm so proud of what I have achieved over here. You know, so yeah, in the past I have struggled a bit, and I hope this will set the tone for better handbag cakes for the future. So like everybody else, if you're starting something for the first time and it's new, you're going to be worried and you're going to feel a little bit scared, but go and do it anyway, because that's how you learn. Because we started, we made some mistakes, we pivoted in real time, and here we are, you know? So yeah. Oh, thank you, people. You know what? I am on top of my head. Okay. So when we get the video done, Tabitha, you said you couldn't see the small details. So if you're wondering the small details, here's what we've got. Let me get the hand paint. The small detail is this one here. It's this small yeah, this bit here. It's a small bow with a gold detail that is in front of the flap of the bag. So that's the bit that Efia, are you a baker yourself, darling? Great to have you though, and thanks for your input. And there you go. So we've got that. So yeah, when I finish this, I'm gonna go make a brownie, and then I've still got these friends over here to sort out. And I'm not feeling great, but we're gonna be all right. Okay, so on top of my head, I'm like, we're talking about cake and giggle, 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 right? It's like, I want to do it, but then, so how about this? In my head, this is all in my head. Okay, I'm telling you what I'm thinking. How about on Friday, we'll have a pre-recorded show. It's on Friday. I'll record it like a long form, but it doesn't have a lot of edits. It will still take the form of the live, if you like. So it is still raw. If I can, I'll try not to edit it too much, so that it will cover the moments of the tutorials where I am not talking a lot. Like, I'm going to go back, look at your questions and stuff, and then I will talk through all of them and maybe give you some more insight. And it will be a video, like an additional video for Friday. It will not be a live. Where it is likely to be a live, I'll let you know. But I'm hoping that will be a pre-recorded show. So like one of the Sunday videos, like long form. But it will just be me talking to you, so that even if I'm not present, that can be recorded in advance and then you can catch up. But because it is going to be you-centered, as in, new people may not know what we're talking about, because much of it will be answering questions and providing perspective, and sometimes covering the general broader subjects relating to cakes. There are so many things I see on, say, our neighbor TikTok over there that relates to cake, and I want to be able to expand on those things and also bring a bit of fun. Is that something you'll be up for? I'm sure you're always up for anything I propose. So let's see. I wanted to record that this Friday so that we'll have our first episode, and it will be cake news and giggle. Okay, what are we giggling about? We'll find something to giggle about. So something cake related that is fun, or something that's life related that is fun. And then there's just cake news. So the cake news will be us catching up on the tutorials for the week, bringing you some extra insight from long form videos. I can even pick my own video and then take it apart and then talk you through the mindset, some of the mistakes I made, and just bring you some insights about cake making, just so that you have a full-on perspective to what is happening. Because I know the tutorials are great, but I don't get to interact with you a lot. I am so grateful to have my moderators, friends of the channel, Lollipop and Tapita and Delaney, and all of you who make a dedicated effort to keep the chats going. It doesn't happen by chance. It takes intention and it takes time, because I'm sure Tapita and Lollipop, if they are not here, they do worry about you guys and how you keep up in the chat. So for them to be present every day, I mean, 1 p.m. UK time is still like early morning in the US for Tapita, who still shows up and makes a conscious effort to keep you interacting. So I kind of thought that might just add to the... I know it's taking on a little bit of extra work, but you know what? I live for giving you guys value. So let's see how that goes. And yeah, we are done here with our cake. Let's see. I did ask... I did ask Efia if she's a... Oh, you're a beginner. Where are you, Efia? Are you in the UK? I am in the UK anyway. Just curious to know where you're joining us from. That's all. And if you are a complete beginner, what do you have any specific aspirations or hopes for your cake making journey? Just so that I can make some simple recommendations for you. Oh, you're in Ghana. Oh my goodness. I can almost imagine the amount of airtime it has taken you to join us. Tigo or Ariba or MTN. I'm Ghanaian, by the way, if you had to say. Yeah, right. Huh. I am hoping one day, not too long in the future, if I do visit Ghana, I might be able to offer some custom classes when I'm on holiday. MTN. And it's all credit NASA, sister. Or airtime NASA. And I Wi-Fi. Anyway, great to have you. Great to have you. Nyamiadum. Did you know I was Ghanaian? Who named me a Ghanaian? Anyway, yeah, that is Oh no, you didn't. Oh, okay. I'm Ghanaian. Mitichipa. Great to have you. Yeah, and yeah. You know what? If you're a beginner, sometimes location does vary, because what I have done here, if we were going to make it in a Ghanaian cake form, we would have to adapt it because of the weather, okay? And then ingredients does impact taste and all of that. But I am hoping that in the near future, if I do come to Ghana, I will be able to sort of connect with some bakers on the ground, and then we can compare some of the recipes and what makes what might be different. I still like Ghanaian cakes, like growing up, like the wedding cakes. But every time I see a well-polished Ghanaian wedding cake, right, especially the tiers, the first thing that crosses my mind, obviously, as a cake maker, is how do they, like, solve the weather issue? Like, how do they optimize the cake for stability? Especially the cakes that, like, you know, this fancy Ghanaian weddings where the cake is coming down from the ceiling. I'm like, ready, cake with tough for us, right? Yes, Tapita. Tapita, I do speak Ghanaian, you know. I speak well, there's no language like Ghanaian, okay? We have different languages and we have different dialects. I actually speak about 3 Ghanaian languages. The Chi, what we're speaking now is Chi anyway. It's the Akan Chi. It's an Akan people's language over there. But I speak 3 Ghanaian languages, so yeah, I do. You've never heard it spoken? Well, that's better. You're in Oregon. You've never met a Ghanaian. That's better to say, eh? You live in Oregon, okay, and you've never met a Ghanaian to show you jollof rice, so you would never have known, darling, okay? So maybe that will be a small Ghanaian class for you. If you meet a Ghanaian, the first thing you say is etiseng, and etiseng is how are you? Yeah? So if I came and I said lollipop and I tapita, that's lollipop and tapita, etiseng, all you have to say is eye. Eye is like I'm fine, and it's you say yeah, that's all. That's there. No, you're not losing your mind. I actually speak this is not my dialect though. This is like a universally common language. It's Tree. Yeah, if you'll understand why people keep it to themselves, but I mean, the whole point of being on YouTube is to kind of unpack the tips so that you can learn. So don't worry about it. If you stay on the channel, if you go on the long form content, you'll find some decorations where we don't gatekeep here, okay? Yeah, if you're high for BBNs here, okay? It's all out there for you to see, okay? The purposes of the lives are for people like yourselves, so that you can always have something to learn from. Because if you can't afford a class, then what are you going to do? Okay, so we don't gatekeep here, so you're welcome. All right, into yeah, a lollipop and tapita. I speak Ghanaian language, but the Tree language is not my original dialect or language. I actually hail from the northern part of Ghana, so we have a completely different language. And yeah, I become a different person when I start speaking that language, but that's just by the way. So yeah. You know what? I kind of understand why people gatekeep, because people kind of have to protect it as a business, isn't it? You know, but for me, and sort of unlocking the gates is actually the business, because if I wasn't unlocking the gates, I'm sure I'd have something to give you. But the whole point of this is to unlock it so that you can have access to it. So it's neither here nor there. If we all gatekeep, then of course there will be nothing passed down. But I have benefited from people giving their knowledge. Like when you think about people like your Claire Saffitts and your Betty Erin Jean McDowell and all these great content creators who are, they're not just content creators, you know, they are accomplished professionals in their fields of baking and different, and they are on the platform handing you the tips. Like when I watch Claire Saffitts, I'm like, God, how is this even free information, right? And if she is doing that, why can't we? So yeah, but I'm not also mad at people who keep their business to themselves, because that's how they make their money, because that's a source of income for them. So it's neither here nor there, right? So yeah, yeah. My tree is great. It's because minyini watemawate. But yeah, I come from the north. Yeah, so yeah. But that's a bit that's a bit about me over here, people. We have completed our handbag cake. Now yeah. Oh, okay. So if you love Claire Saffitz, yeah, Claire's videos are amazing. I think for you, the challenge of having Claire's videos will be the ingredients, because trying to replicate exactly what she does in America and then having the exact thing and same result in Ghana is slightly tricky. So you have to learn to adapt. But the principles of baking and everything else remains the same nonetheless. So people, now the struggle really is how to not hoard this cake. I might just find a way to come back and cut this cake, you know. But otherwise, people, thank you so much for joining me for another action-packed live with much value for you. I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know what we're doing. I actually know what we're doing. We'll be baking, we'll be continuing the Principles of Baking series where we'll be baking some cakes, I think. It's a long week. I am going to be here every day as much as I can. I'll keep you posted. We'll try not to hoard the cake. It is just too early to cut into it. Otherwise, I would have come back tomorrow to cut it so that we can see what the cake is like. But yeah, same time tomorrow, God willing, 1 p.m. I'll catch you then. Take care. Thank you, Lollipop and Tapita. And if you're great company here, and have a good day. Bye.